As GDQx is a wonderful and welcome surprise. Take all my monies and save Deckard Cain and the animals. And it looks like we are ready to have our Mega Man X2 race with Tokyo90 and Tiki.
All right, guys, the race of the century coming up right here, right now. So I think we're just going to jump right into this. So going to give a countdown. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so X2 starts off with Mega Man on his noble motorcycle, and Green Biker Dude in the background dying. See you, dude. So unlike X1, this intro stage, you immediately start with dash, so they're going to be moving full speed right off the bat. Killing these screwdriver guys, jumping here, jumping there, just making their way through this pretty short stage. They're going to attempt some gap jumping here, so at where ladders intersect with the floor, there's actually a hole that X can fit into. So with really precise movement, they can actually just kick out of there without manually climbing the ladder. All right, so they're both already at CF0, the intro stage boss here. You're going to see them kind of like dancing back and forth here, kind of shooting more to the right. This looks a bit strange, but they're doing this for a reason. It's actually faster. So what they're attempting to do here is create more distance while still keeping CF0 under iframes. And by leveraging the distance of the shot, they're actually getting their charge shots out sooner. So this actually leads to higher DPS overall. So a quick cutscene here with the these three idiots. Can't think of a better name for them than that, really. Stage select here starts right on Sponge, which is perfect since this is the ideal first stage. And right from the start, you're going to see them immediately turn left into this like hidden area, which has a heart. And they're actually going to be collecting all the hearts, all the sub-tanks, and all of the armor upgrades in this game, much like Walrus's 100% X1 run you saw earlier. And this is all to get the Shoryuken. But this is actually not 100% in the context of X2, because they will not be collecting the 0 parts. So they also got that sub-tank there. The weather here is random. So this first area can either be clear, sunny, or rainy. They want clear. Next area is always rain. And then the final area can either be clear or rainy, or sunny and rainy. Neither of them got the perfect pattern, but all is well. And now they're coming up to Sponge, the first major boss, and also the first major wall in with respect to speedrunning. This guy has a lot of luck. So he can do a number of actions. The key points here are that if you deal more than 22 damage to him, so this is 11 dash shots, as long as he's grounded, his next pattern will be this like rain dance where he's invulnerable for the entire duration of it, which is about 9 seconds. So ideally, they want him to grab the ceiling before inflicting those final hits. That way they can skip that rain pattern entirely. And it looks like both of them got bad luck, unfortunately. You can increase your odds of him grabbing the ceiling by actually being further away from him, but that only goes so far. So Sponge is dead on both screens. Good. Now Tiki is going to do a quick movement over to Gator stage. This is actually a pretty scary stage select, and probably the hardest one. Actually, no, easily the hardest one in X2. Every stage select beyond this one's pretty trivial. It's generally just an adjacent stage, not even like diagonals or anything. But with Sponge down, they now have Strike Chain, and this is a pretty big speedrun weapon. It's basically a... Oh, hey, it's Walrus. It's basically a horizontal-only grappling hook that pulls X in even faster than he moves while dashing. So they're going to be wanting to use this everywhere. You can see Tiki leveraging it to get to this Buster upgrade capsule pretty early. Tokyo right behind him. Now Tiki's got the power of pink shots. Pink just like his shirt right now. So charge chain is just a really beefed up regular chain. Even faster, even longer. And a risky strat here to get this heart early on Tiki screen. Getting hit by that enemy mech to have invincibility frames and then jump along the spikes. So they're coming up to the actual Gator fight in the stage. This fight's pretty tricky. They're going to be doing a sequence of 5-frame chains. So it's a 5-frame link over and over again. It's very easy to drop combo, so I'm just going to stay silent while Tiki fights this guy. And let's see what happens. Or I could sing Happy Birthday. Yeah. All right, don't clap yet. It's Tokyo's turn. Actually, no, he's got really good headphones, right? You can't hear anything. We should just clap as loud as possible right now. And Tokyo gets it too! All right! We've got a race. That's actually a really scary fight for marathons, and people drop combo more often than not, honestly. I'm a victim of it myself. All right, so now another cutscene, and now we're gonna have those 3 idiots actually spawning on the map. Just eats up some time, but both Tiki and Tokyo are gonna be completely ignoring these 3 guys and just going with the Mavericks, as usual. Once again, not collecting the 0 parts. So the X-Hunters or Counter-Hunters, whatever you want to call them, are just not relevant. So Tiki's going to ascend this cliff over here, chain to the left, and grab this item. There'll be one more item up here. The chaining and all the climbing up here is super tricky. So this is actually really taxing on the hands. You can see Tiki like holding a charge while doing these jumps. Releasing at precise moments. Doesn't take too long to get tired during these vertical sections. If you pay attention closely to Tiki's movement, he's trying to land on as many of these ledges as possible, simply because jumping up from a ledge will let you climb faster than strictly wall kicking all the time. And Tiki's going to be attempting a really sick fight here against Stag. Let's see if we can get this. So, lay down that Buster Shot and then climb the wall with him. Trading contact damage for dash shots along the way. And then, looks like he's going to opt to stay down here. So this climb up with Stag is super difficult. It's very precise. I would say the hitbox of Stag is kind of deceptive. It's really easy to place shots higher than the hitbox actually is and have the Buster Shot kind of just like go through his head and not inflict damage at all. Really nice looking fight from Tokyo there. Probably no more than a 10-second difference, I want to say right now. Now Tiki's heading to Centipede stage. The stage is really cool. It's very different from Stag. It's a lot more horizontal, but I think there's a lot of really cool variety here.
You get to start using Speed Burner too.
Yeah. Yeah, so Charge Speed Burner, yet another really good speedy weapon. Just makes X go really fast. having some trouble with that wall kick there. He was slightly too far in front to actually be in front of the block itself. So burn under those blocks. That burn into that sub-tank there is kind of precise. It's kind of scary, but there are backups in case you miss it. So it's not necessarily the end of the world if Tiki had missed that. So Tiki's going to be using Chain here to kill Chop Register. And that's actually really difficult to do. He's timing the chain release such that the head of chain kind of sits on the handle for as long as possible, dealing damage. Looks like Tokyo struggles a bit there, but still gets a one-shot kill. Tiki fighting the second mini-boss of this area. It's just a lot of burner. And he has enough burner ammo to use it once more to make it... Oh, okay, well, he made it. All right, Tiki is fighting Centipede now. This is, much like Sponge, the other big lock wall of this run. Ideally, he wants Centipede to release his tail and have it orbit around X, but looks like Centipede's choosing to do it at an unideal location. So let's see if Tokyo gets good luck here. All right, you can still get it. There it is.
There we go.
So by sliding down the wall at a specific moment when the tail pieces are like starting to orbit, he can get the tail to just be stuck in this infinite. So you can see that Tokyo's having a much cleaner, much easier fight. Meanwhile, Tiki's getting grabbed and bullied, and now he's just getting teleports, and oh my god. Oh man, no. Is that 4 in a row? 5 in a row?
God.
Wow. All right. So, yeah, that's the difference between bad luck and good luck. There you go. All eyes are now on Tokyo. So going into Crystal Stage, they're going to start off just grabbing this right armor. And what you're seeing here with the fast movement, they're actually using the lunge attack off of the ledge and then just tapping jump from there, preserving lunge speed, because lunge speed in the right armor is much faster than just dashing normally.
It's going to be a mini boss skip coming up here soon, too.
Yes, there is. Let's see if Tokyo gets it. That's the mini boss, and the mini boss is skipped. Let's see. So you can just burn past that guy. And the window's pretty big. Chain also works. Silk Shot works. The right armor itself works. Anything that like seems to generate a lot of lag, as far as I know, I can skip that guy. So Tokyo getting this very useful helmet upgrade, which he's never going to use again. And by having already triggered that crystal, Tokyo can just make it all the way to the boss now. Except for that crystal. He's slowed down for that one, I guess. All right, so this nail fight. You can see Tokyo already has like 1/2 of a charge built up. He's going to open up with a buffered shot. So once the music stops and the game is like loading the boss song, he's going to press and hold shoot. And that's going to open with a first frame lemon, which will cause Snail to be aggressive. He's going to dash under a few times and then switch to Magnet. Charge Magnet here deals 4 damage per hit. He can control its movement up and down. It's always going to move left and right at the same speed. And slick fight. Let's see if Tiki can also get this.
Looks good.
Yeah, it's good. Kicking the shell. Good stuff.
Nice.
All right, both of them are now going to be heading to the bird, Ostrich. Unlike the birds from the previous game, X1, This bird is much kinder, much nicer. The Buster Duel is actually terrible, and the old route for this game had a Buster Duel. It was Ostrich third, but now you just use Crystal to freeze him in place. And the fight's still tricky, but it's it completely mitigates luck if you nail it perfectly. So they're going to be riding this bike. They have to be very careful not to crash the bike. If they crash the bike, then that's going to be quite the time loss. And shooting down these platforms is actually tricky. Tokyo now coming up to this turnaround, which is pretty tight. Going full speed on the bike. Oh, Austin Powers! Okay. Got it. All right. That was a really sick backup. I think it's pretty uncommon seeing a recovery that good when you're like that close to it. It's easy kind of just being stuck in place over and over again. Tiki gets it first try. Very nice. Again, if you mess up that turnaround and go just a bit too late, you just instantly die. You will crash into spikes. Your bike just blows up and you fall. All right, so for this fight, Tokyo is going to immediately open up. Well, there's like a brief delay, but he's going to open up with a dash shot, which will inflict 2 damage, move back a bit, and then switch to Crystal. And then, while Ostrich is still frozen and like about to unfreeze, there's a window of opportunity in which he can get a second Crystal shot in. Just like that. Let's see if Tiki can have like a really, really good fight here. Really nice fight. That timing's tricky. There is kind of like a slight visual cue, but it's not very clear cut. The capsule they got in that stage, by the way, was the boots. So now they can air dash, which isn't too terribly useful, but they will be using it here and there. And it's especially good for using neons, which you'll see a bit later. So Tokyo is going to kill this fish with a charge slicer and then climb the left wall. It's a pretty precise jump to get up there. But once he's up there, he can just burn her across and easily get this upgrade. And he'll be doing something pretty similar here. Slope jumping up to that wall and then just jumping along the surface of the water. So along the surface of the water, you can just mash jump if you want to, but you can jump whenever you want, really. You see Tokyo using Crystal there. If you're like passing through an enemy and you use Crystal on them, that actually gives you like a little mini zip. So it is faster. All right, the crab fight. This guy's a huge jerk. Both Tokyo and Tiki are going to go for shots that, well, not the best opener for Tokyo. This is contingent on what Crab does, but ideally what they want is when you release Charge Wheel, and you just saw it there on Tiki's screen, when you release Charge Wheel, the epicenter of where you released it is still an active hitbox. So it can do 4 damage with the pedals, and then if you get Crab to actually jump into the epicenter, then you deal 4 damage again. Shoutouts to Gameo for his crazy crab black magic. And every time the screen's dark, I just see like Tokyo staring at me through the reflection, really throwing me off. I can't take this anymore. So we're gonna use Crystal on this guy, get up there, get the upgrade, and then the final upgrade will be this capsule down here in this hidden area, which you need Wheel to break through. So this is the armor upgrade, fourth and final piece. Really nice upgrade casually. You even get Giga Crush, which hopefully one of these guys will use at some point in this run, but it's very unlikely. It's pretty much not useful anywhere. All right, there's two of these robot mini-bosses. In both cases, they're just going to use Wheel to break the robot initially, and then either Slicer or Bubble to kill the bug. Pretty fast, pretty easy. And in neither case, the robot did not jump. So both of them got really good luck there. Let's see if the second robot jumps. Really want this guy to just stay still, though. Okay, small hop.
Double jump.
All right, Tokyo almost nailed that hallway at the very end there. It's a very hard hallway. There are like just bugs everywhere. All right, the moth fight. This is broken down into two pieces. There's like this larva cocoon phase thing, and they're just going to use one uncharged shot and 3 charged shots to break him out of it. Ceiling opens up, and then it's just one more charged burner and then 2 uncharged shots to kill him. So the Mavericks are now down for Tokyo. And Tiki is right behind. Oh, Tiki's right behind him. All right, so they're going into the X Hunter stages now. All 3 of the platforming stages are completely different. The first one's like this brutal vertical climb, really taxing on the hands. The second one is a lot more binary in whether or not you're going to, stay ahead or lose time. And then the third one is kind of just, it's a lot of neons and a lot of other super technical things. So again, this stage is just very tiring. Oh! Ooh. Tiki takes a death there. I think he goes for a really hard strat. I don't know if he goes for... He does, yeah. He goes for those chains. Those are insane.
Wow.
Yeah, that's worth it. That's worth a death. But yeah, there's so much optimization potential here. Lots of weapon swaps. You're constantly holding charges throughout. Constantly doing wall kicks. It's just 40 seconds of very brutal platforming. Tokyo now coming up to the boss. The one thing he has to keep in mind here is to release his charge on Bubble and not Crystal here, so he just has to get that weapon swap in, and he's good to go. At this point, he just has to stay in the gorilla's face. Very nice kill by Tokyo. Well deserved. This boss can be kind of stupid. It's not just like a free fight. If he changes like the position of blocks, he's invulnerable while doing that. So kind of don't want that. The Wrecking Ball can be really laggy. All right, Tokyo is now in X Hunter 2, and everything about the stage basically just revolves around, can he get early elevators? So let's see if we can pull this off. And it looks like he got it. It's not over yet, though. It's not quite over yet. Okay,
there we go.
All right, now it's over. Yeah, that air dash under the third elevator there is really tricky. And then you have to jump out such that you don't also bonk the ceiling. Otherwise, you lose too much height and you can't make the final cycle. All right, so it looks like Tokyo somehow stabilized his magnet mine, which is really impressive. He's going to be going for double hits here. And these are just really precise. Nice. Tiki got it too. These are really precise shots. Needs a good X position, and he has to be pretty much level with Sergez himself. And this will cause like one of the two slicer hits on the right to connect first, and then one of the middle one on the way down to also connect. And Tiki employing a strat that involves taking a hit every second, looks like. Nice. So it looks like there's, maybe a 20-second gap right now, but this race is not done yet. There is a lot of back and forth potential here, especially as we go into the boss rush. But for now, it's X Hunter 3. A really hard first room by Tokyo with really precise chains. But now he's going to be going into neons. So for neons, when releasing a pink charge, X thinks he's actually standing on ground for the first frame, provided you're like air dashing. So if you air dash, release that charge, and then also jump on that same frame, then you will get like a second jump in midair, or even a third jump if you chain them. So it looks like Tokyo's electing for the much safer bottom route. Let's see if Tiki goes top. Looks like he is. This is Spike City. He's going to go through like a little zigzag at the end here too. Okay. So Tiki has to use a sub-tank. He needs full health to actually make this capsule appear, which has Shoryuken, which Tokyo now has. Tokyo is going to be doing this super sick crystal here to wall kick off of. And then Agile is he's the perfect first boss for the Shoryuken here. He's very wide. Very nice. So a few notes about the Shoryuken. Much like the Hadoken from X1, you need full health to use it. The big problem here, though, is it's pretty much like a melee attack. So you need to get right up in the boss's face. Tiki with a sick kill there. You need to get right up in the boss's face for it to actually connect, obviously. And you obviously also don't want to take contact damage or any other hits. Another complicated thing is Shoryuken itself does not deal 32 damage like the Hadoken does. It deals damage per contact frame, and it's also on like a frame roll. So typically speaking, they want this nice long clean diagonal through the hitbox of the boss to actually be able to kill them in one hit. So Tokyo there with Centipede in one hit. That's pretty hard to do. That boss can be fairly finicky. See if Tiki gets it. Oh, the buster shot. Oh! Yeah. Good combo there. 3-hit combo. See if Tokyo gets this immediate Shoryuken left. He does. I'll teach Stag to jump left. Tiki also gets Stag. So Tokyo's now fighting Crab. Crab can jump, or he might just like stay still or like walk around. Tokyo has to pay very special attention. Yeah, there, okay. It's too fast, I can't really commentate this. So if you jump over Crab, that just baits him to jump up. So that's what Tokyo did there. He jumped over him, he knew it was safe, and then he got below and landed a Shoryuken while he was up there. Oh, Tiki takes a hit, and he's not at full health, so he cannot Shoryuken. He now has to use Wheel to finish off Crab. The problem with this refight, though, is there are spikes on the ceiling, so he has to be super careful not to run into those. Not to mention, This is kind of like a fight where you take a lot of contact damage normally, but that's not really an option for Tiki because you only get 8 HP every time you return to like the hub room with all the teleporters. So it looks like Tiki did not take too much damage. He can refill appropriately and reach 32. All right, frame perfect from Tokyo, the most edged pixel. Really sick kill there. So yeah, you can't kill Moth in one shuriken. Takes one for the cocoon and then another one to finish him off. Tiki also with the one framer, amazing. All right, so the Gator fight here is really difficult. Gator tries to dive immediately, so you have to open up a chain. Very sick. Nice. And it's typical to do 4 chains first and then go into a shuriken. Any less than 4 chains is pretty much like a task rat or something just incredibly risky to try RTA. I should note that the weapon swap in Gator's room is also super finicky. So typically players will be holding down one weapon swap button the entire time while chaining at the beginning. Tokyo with the icy hot strat. So X has control the moment he enters that room. So Tokyo was able to just jump to that position and open up with a crystal shot that was buffered and go right into a Shoryuken. Tiki also with a really good Gator fight. It's really hard. All right. Tokyo going for a one-hit kill on Snail. This guy's a huge pain. He's gonna do a mini jump at the beginning to try to get his like subpixels right, such that he can get that one-hit KO. Very nice. And I think Tokyo's now done with all the refights. And Tiki with a helmet. Beep beep. Yeah. That was a fight. All right, so Tokyo going into the final stage. This is not like a revisit. He's actually going into X Hunter 5, even though it looks like Centipede stage. So it turns out that everything X was looking for was right here all along, right where Chop Register was. Oh, and Tiki frozen by Snail. Let's see if we can get a recovery here. Oh! Has to use Magnet from here. Hopefully he can get this Magnet off before Snail freezes stuff. Okay. Yeah, like Snail can use his time slow there, and it makes things really painful. Now Tokyo's fighting Zero. Ideally, he wanted to open up with a Shoryuken just going into the fight, so he starts from the middle, but his recovery there was really sick. Takes 2 Shoryukens to beat Zero. His hitbox is just too small to do 32 damage in one hit. And after Zero, he's going to be fighting Wolverine. So Wolverine has a number of things he can open up with. What Tokyo wants him to do is he wants Wolverine to immediately dash to the left and then kick off of the left wall. And if he does that, he can just get like a really clean Shuriken to the left as well. Just like that. Didn't get all the damage in, but got a crazy recovery. And we're going into the final boss for Tokyo, Wireframe Sigma. Time is going to come up on the last hit here, and this could be very fast. This could be within the next like 8 seconds or so. So he's going to dash under him, and then Shuriken left, and hopefully this will get him in one hit. Time. That looked like a 33:51 from Tokyo. It's a super good time. Like any kind of 33, and these guys will be happy, so. And Tokyo's had a pretty rough time with X2 in the past, in the GDQ setting, so I'm sure he's very, very content with this. All right, now it's Tiki's turn. Let's see if Wolverine gives him the good pattern, or if he just immediately teleports or uses pink balls. Nice fight. All right, time is coming up for Tiki as well. Just got one boss left. So again, you have to be really careful with this dash under because you do not want to take damage here. You need full health to Shuriken. And Tiki gets it as well, time. Great race, guys. That was sick. All right, so yeah, that was Mega Man X2. Congrats to Tokyo on his big day.
Good day.
And congrats to Tiki. He can play StarCraft again. I'm sure he's happy about that. He's probably happier than Tokyo right now.
Well, that was an exciting X2 race. And we have a $25 donation from Obsolete Ape, who says, I was blindsided by this GDQ marathon, so put this donation to making that blind Castlevania run happen. And speaking of that, we are at a little over $8,500 out of the $15,000 goal. We still have a little under $6,500 to go to hit that goal, and we only have one run left, A Link Between Worlds. Let's see if we can get Castlevania Symphony of the Night blindfolded in for that setup block. And I will be signing off on hosting, and your next host will be Big John. So.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Games Done Quick Express here live from TwitchCon 2018. I am taking over as the host for the next few hours. Coming up next, we have The Legend of Zelda, A Link Between Worlds, featuring the amazing runner, The Legend of Zahir, who just recently set the world record on this. So it should be a really good run coming up. You better clap for that. Shoot, world records are rare. Come on now. We're not going to have a weak audience while I'm up here, so you all may as well get some energy drinks or something. While we're getting this set up for this next run, let's read some donations here. We have a $25 donation from Zorchin. Says, hello from the audience. Hey, what's up? Where you at? They're gone. They left and says, hello from the audience. First time catching GDQ Live. Well, what better way to be in person? I'll tell you that. We have hey, check this out. And this is important here. We got a $500 donation from Ella Giggle. Says, I love that this event is happening for TwitchCon. Couldn't make it out myself, but happily watching from home. Put this towards that blindfolded Symphony of the Night run. Of course, scheduled after this run. I feel a camera on me. Of course, we have that incentive that we still are about $6,441.43 under right now. So if you want to see someone to play Symphony of the Night with no vision, you got to make sure you put towards that, okay? We also have $5 from Shariko. Says, hello, everybody. At exactly 30 minutes in between the Link Between Worlds run, let's get a $5 donation train going. We can make the blindfolded Symphony of the Night run. Can Twitch chat do it, or will they fail? It's up to you guys now. All right. We also have we have a $500 anonymous donation as well. Big bucks. Says, hey, Steven, Nanny, and Appa. Aw. All righty. So before we get this run going, we are going to pass it over for an interview. So don't go anywhere, and we have an interview coming up right now.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Games Done Quick Express 2018, coming at you live from sunny San Jose, California. I'm Sent, and joining me is a very special person. We have Rom Scout himself with us. Rom, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I can see, which I'm hoping doesn't happen in a couple hours.
Yeah, I'm hoping in about an hour and a half or so that you won't be able to see very much, and that's kind of a horrible thing to say to a friend. In an hour, I'm hoping you won't be able to see. But we'll get to why that is, because we're still trying to get about $6,000 or so on that blindfolded Symphony of the Night run. That's going to be a super cool run, guys. You're definitely going to want to get those donations in to make that happen. Remember, it's at the end of A Link Between Worlds. We got to get that donation incentive met before A Link Between Worlds ends. So let's make that happen by talking about some of the awesome prizes you guys can put in donations for.
You know what? Why don't we get practicing for that run, just in case you all can hit it, because I know you can.
They can, for sure.
Let's get some practice in and try and do this all without seeing it.
Yeah, so since Rom Scout's going to play an entire game of Castlevania blinded, I figure, you know what? It can't be that hard. I'll talk about some prizes blinded. I think I can manage that. Let me just, all right. I can do this, Rom. I believe.
Which one's this one?
That's a good question. I have no idea what you're pointing at. See, this is the first problem. So, tell me a little bit about the whole blindfolded run idea. What other senses do you have to replicate? Do you just have the game mapped out mentally down to the pixel, or are there some audio cues you can use to figure out exactly where you are? Give me a rundown.
I have probably played the game in the neighborhood of 10,000 hours or so, because I've been playing it about a decade. So that helps. You know what the general game looks like, and when you're doing movements, how it's supposed to play. But obviously, that's not foolproof. So I do things anywhere from an audio cue of the hello?
I'm feeling my way around.
Okay. It's like, is someone tapping me on the shoulder? But yeah, anything from obviously attack sounds. Bosses make certain sounds when they're attacking you. All the way to there's a landing sound that happens when Alucard jumps and lands on the ground. So that's a very subtle sound. You can barely hear it if you're unless you're listening for it. So the game has a lot of different movement options with backdashes. You have variable jump height, but you can map things out by doing full jumps. It's a lot of options you have, and it took me quite a long time to route. Obviously, I did the run 2 years ago, and some things went wrong, and I've kind of been prepping for this ever since by making the route better.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing some of the cues you use. I actually had the benefit of being taught the NEC% route years ago by you and Mecha Richter one late GDQ evening, and I cannot imagine being able to do that route without being able to see. But speaking of not seeing, let me try and show off some of these prizes. Now, I think, judging by the key rings that I'm touching here, that these are some Super Mario Odyssey keychain pearlers sent to us by a Filthy Turtle Perler, a super cool guy. They're a $10 minimum donation for all 6 of them. You have a Cappy, a Tiara, you know, Beach Mario, everyone's favorite Mario. There were a bunch of bananas or a multi-moon, depending on who you ask. Personally, I like to believe they're bananas. They're high in potassium. Moons have no potassium, Rom Scout. It's very important.
That's good to know.
Let me just reach over here, see if I can't find the other ones. They're some way over here. You guys have seen them. They're beautifully melded. Absolutely love these perlers. Super cool. Shoutouts to Filthy Turtle for sending them in. Let's see. What else do we have here? Now, I think from our friends over at Fangamer and Bandai Namco, this is probably a Dark Souls a Dark Souls pin. I'm hoping. Otherwise, I'm holding up something completely different. I hope no one's like smuggled a sandwich onto the set here. But if this is the Dark Souls pin, super cool pin. Only $5 minimum donation to get in for it. Definitely a relaxing thing to have
I mean, it's
around.
probably a pretty cool sandwich, too.
Oh,
if
yeah.
It happens to be that.
If it happens to be a sandwich, I'm sure it's great. Now, hopefully, this is a beautiful Dark Souls shirt that, judging by the width and the laughter of the audience, I am holding directly upside down and possibly backwards. All right, I'm gonna flip it, and we're gonna see if that fixes it.
Can we get some confirmation?
Yeah,
All
there
right,
we go. We got confirmation. Now you see there, I couldn't see the shirt, so I had to use my sense of touch there to figure out what side was right side up. And I mean, this is me trying to show off
also
a shirt,
your
guys.
sense of situational awareness, that helped.
Oh yeah, definitely. You guys are gonna see Rom Scout try to like clip through a floor without being able to see it. It's gonna be nuts. But anyway, this shirt comes to us again from Bandai Namco and Fangamer. Super awesome shirt, available in your choice of size, and it's a $10 minimum donation from now until the end of Dark Souls. So hey, get those donations in, especially get those donations in for Rom Scout's blindfolded run. Yep. This is definitely a Super Nintendo classic, and with any luck, I'm holding it the right way forward and not upside down. I'm just gonna spin it around like a puzzle box. We're gonna go this way. This is the correct orientation of the Super Nintendo classic. Super cool console. Rom, I mean, I know it doesn't have Soten, but how do you feel about
Well,
the
that's
Super
Super
Nintendo?
Castlevania 4,
Oh,
which
that's
is
true.
another very beloved Castlevania title. Super Metroid, one of the other games that's kind of gave Metroidvania its name. So, yeah, can't go wrong with that one.
Yeah, definitely a super great console. I love the plug-and-play concept of it when it's done right. I mean, personally, I'm someone who always has a Super Nintendo actually plugged in, but I imagine for a lot of people, it's a pretty big hassle to go find the cart and go find the system.
You can travel with it. Like,
yeah, exactly.
I'm not going to pack a SNES and go to a gaming event now when I can just bring that.
I mean, if it's got the game, you need to practice on it. Like, hey, by all means.
Yeah.
Easier to carry around. All right, I'm going to hopefully put that down somewhere safe as I hear something fall off the desk. That's fine. That's probably fine. All right, so over here we have these feel like some decals. Yeah, there are 2 of them. I'm using my sense of math to deduce that these must be our portal decals from our friends over at Something Artistic. Hopefully, again, I'm not holding them upside down or backwards.
Can you hold those ones upside down?
I don't know. Maybe we'll just we'll rotate it. We'll hold them this way. This is the optimal portal orientation for sure. These are again $10 minimum donation. They're super cool. You can stick them on whatever you want. Desks, laptops, Rom Scout. He's somewhere over here.
Yep.
I think.
Up.
Maybe found him.
Okay, wait. Is this you, Sent?
I don't know, and I'm afraid to ask. All right, so this then should be a Super Time Force Ultra vinyl soundtrack sent to us by 6955, the creator of the Super Time Force Ultra soundtrack. Super cool guy. Donated a couple of them a few years ago, gave a few out extra to staff. Yeah, this is actually the copy he gave to me, and I love it. It's super cool, but I just don't have space for vinyl, and I'm sure there's someone out there who collects vinyl, who's interested in this kind of stuff, and who will give it a loving home. And it's a $10 minimum donation again from now until the end of Dark Souls. So make sure, again, to get those donations in, guys. We need them. We need to get this blindfolded ROM Scout Soten run going, and we need to get this blindfold off of me because I can't see anything. All right, now here's the real challenge. This should be a Mario Kart poster, and with, I believe this is probably the right way to unroll it, and it's probably upside down. And it's probably not unrolling all the way. The joys of blindfolded presentation. But it's a super cool poster sent to us by oneupyourselves.com. They do all kinds of cool stuff. They have like a whole video game museum thing going on. Really big fans of them. Shout out to them for sending that out to us. We do have a couple of other things to talk about. We have a AMD Ryzen 2707, super cool CPU, definitely something you guys are going to want to get in for. I believe it's a $15 minimum donation, as well as donating to all of these prizes and donating throughout all of the marathon is going to get you entered into the grand prize, $100 minimum donation, but it's cumulative, so every donation you make during the course of the marathon counts up to that. And it is a pretty sweet gaming PC donated to us by our good friend Dusty, the specs of which are available on the GDQ tracker. To find the tracker, you can head over to our website, gamesdonequick.com. You can click on the tracker link. It's going to give you all the information you need about upcoming speedruns, upcoming prizes, donation incentives, what have you, when they are, and how much we're going to need to make them happen. So with that, you know, ROM Scout, it was great having you somewhere over in this general area. I think right about here.
Oh, you found me.
I found it. There we go. All right, come bring it in. Yeah, I mean, come on, guys. Let's get ROM Scout that blindfolded Sultan run.
Yeah, I mean, I've been practicing hard for this to get my run back for quite a while. So
we want to see it happen. So
yeah,
I mean,
you know, you're doing great things for 10 different charities as well with your donation this time. Usually at Games Done Quick events, it's just one. This time, you're helping 10 different organizations each time you donate.
That is 10 times the normal amount of charities, guys. That's a big number, and hopefully I just made a 10, and not like a 20 or something. Don't worry, I can't do math even when I can't see. But with that said, I think we're going to throw it back up to the front as we get ready for A Link Between Worlds by Legend of Zahir. Take it away, guys.
Best interview ever, I'm telling you. And indeed, in case you don't know, we are about $5,400 away from that blindfolded Simply in the Night run. So if you all don't meet that incentive, I'm going to have a problem with that. So you all need to make sure you get those in again, supporting 10 charities at once. I mean, it's like 10 times your money for 10 times the causes. So don't miss out on that. Of course, before we get that going, we have $10 from Copycat Zero says, let's get that Simply in the Night blindfolded run happening. Thank you for that. $25 from Mission, who says, good money for a good cause. Also, let's make sure that our runners can see that blindfolded run. $5. I told you there's a $5 choo-choo train that one previous donor wanted to happen, so let's make sure we get that. It says, all aboard for the Blind Symphony Run. We also have $100 from Kitty Cat. What are you not clapping for? Look, let me tell y'all something. If there's a 3-digit amount on the left side decimal, y'all better clap, okay? All right? We got a full house in here, so I expect some clapping. There's a lot of hands in here. Zahir, my boy, good luck and having fun on the run, man. Hoping for smooth sailing and a painless Yugonon fight. Your heroes are all here for you. Go get them. Mini Kitty with 100, Mini Kitty 136 says, $50 and says, you guys are neat. Yeah, you're neat too. Thank you for that $50. We've got $10 from Purple Panda that says, this is my first time watching a GDQ event live, and I really want to see that Symphony of the Night blindfolded run. I do too. All right, y'all. We're having a little technical difficulty, so we'll be right back. Please don't leave. See, you know the good thing about having a downtime? It gives you all plenty of time to drop a $1,000 donation. Pushing $1,000. The Castlevania Blindfold Run is Pushing approved. And you know what? Speaking of that downtime, we are just about $3,300 away now from that blindfolded Symphony of the Night run. So maybe we need more downtime. You all get very generous during that downtime. We've got $100 on Wax says, let's get that blindfolded run. Choo-choo. $10 from Half Key says, did someone say blindfolded Symphony of the Night? We can dare. Let's go. Let's get there. $100 on Moon's Eternity says, ready for that blind gameplay and awake audience. Yeah, don't go to sleep on me now. Remember, coming up next, we do have Zahir, the Legend of, playing A Link Between Worlds for the Nintendo Third Dimension system. So that's coming up very, very shortly here. Of course, remember, as your donations are going to 10 different charities, so make sure that you all get them in. And, of course, get to those incentives. We have some more incentives available. Just go to gamesdonequick.com and check it out. There are some more beyond that, including some for Dark Souls 3, Diablo 2, and, of course, that bonus game. We've got TaskBot with Mario 64 One Key. One Key? How do you do that? No idea. Let's see here. We also have $100 from K. Davis says, getting my GDQ fixed this weekend. Thanks to all the runners, the watchers, and especially the crew organizing and setting this up. Put this towards the blind run. Hey, I thank you all for that patience, but guess what, you all? Now I can officially say it. We have hit $50,000. I'm telling you, during technical issues, it brings out the wallets in you all. I'm telling you. So again, working out these issues, but of course, while we are working on those issues, we still have tons of donations coming in here. We've got $25 from IFD Delusion. It says, oh my God, I'm so happy you're at TwitchCon. Oh my God, I've never been able to attend, so I'm glad I actually can experience a mini Games Done Quick. $25 donation from the back to the blindfolded run of Symphony of the Night. Got $100 from Astro Blitz. Remember, 3-digit amounts. What does that mean? Yeah. Much love for the GDQ community and runners. Love watching this each time they go live. $25 from K77. It says, you guys are amazing. Keep up the great work. We've got $50 from Nerds with Game that says, hey, Zaw. Sorry I wasn't able to make it to your run. Good luck, even though you won't actually need it because you're going to nail it. Although I got to ask, how are you going to be able to sleep through this? Best of luck. Put this towards Zahir's choice. $20 from Morgan 4, who says, sometimes you got to hold them, sometimes you got to blindfold them. $25 from Meekly88 that says, Zahir, always humble, always interactive. An up-and-coming speedrunner. I love popping in to see what's up. Giga124 at $5 says, choo-choo. Remember, they have apparently there's a $5 choo-choo train to get that blindfolded Symphony of Night run in, so maybe you should hop aboard it, just like Nico did. Says, choo-choo, all aboard for the Blind Symphony. Of course, just to give you an update on that, we are under $3,000 now from that blindfolded run, so don't miss out on that.
Incentive like a drum till it
gets I got you. We have $100 from Alex19. Says, just got home from vacation and enjoying the rest of the marathon. Keep up the good work. Let's get this blindfolded Castlevania going.